Hello Rangers, I'm back for another build video today. This one's been a long time coming. It is the Don Pedro build. Do you want to feel like the Drool from the Fallout show? I don't know, it's up to you. But we're going to be doing a nice build today on the Don Pedro, and I really think you're going to like it. It's a nice gun to run round on, and it's something, it does clean, efficient damage. So let's get straight into the build. We're doing a Don Pedro build today. As always, the videos are timestamps for your convenience, so you don't have to listen to me ramble on. Let's straight and go. It is the Don Pedro build, and let's get straight into the specials first and foremost. Firstly, we've got a 6 in strength, a 15 in perception, 10 in endurance, 3 in charisma, a 4 in intelligence, a 10 in agility, and it's an 8 in luck. Feel free to pause the video at this moment in time to take a quick look and jot those numbers down. As I said, it will be timestamped, so don't worry. Just timestamp, check the timestamp, and here are your specials. There you go. So let's move on to the perk cards next, and let's talk about legendary first. First and foremost, I need to take my convenience card off, which we're going to use. Where are you, my friend? Range sneak damage, nope. We're going to do enemies take more damage while on the team. So let's go for the legendary perk cards next. As I stated in my previous build video, some people get confused when they're looking at my perk cards and saying, how have you got so many perk points when the specials didn't have that many perk points? Remember, legendary perk cards, especially the special legendary perk cards, provide more perk points. So first and foremost, we have the legendary luck. We're at +5 luck at a rank 4. Legendary agility at a rank 4 +5 agility. Legendary intelligence at a +5 agility, rank 4. Legendary endurance at a +5 at a rank 4. We've got a taking 1 for the team. Enemies take 40% more damage when they attack you if you are on a team. And we've got a legendary strength, +5 strength, +5 perk points. Capped at 15 like the rest of the cards, and that is at a rank 4. I'll scroll back through now nice and slow for you, just in case you want to take a pause for a moment and jot down those legendary perk cards. Let's get into our favourite part of the video, perk cards. Talking about perk cards, I've had great feedback. People love me dissecting the perk cards, so here we go. First and foremost, it's strength finishing at 11. It's a strong back, as always, cost you 2. Gain more carry weight based on your strength. You know me. Carry weight boy. I love those carry weight numbers. So there we go, more carry weight. We've got the shotgun champ, so we're going to start talking about the crippling and damage now. Plus 10% damage to crippled targets per projectile your weapons fire. So the more you're firing, the more damage you're causing. That is shotgun champ. We've got the easy target at a plus 75% range damage to crippled targets. This gun will cripple, the Don Pedro will cripple fairly quick because of the high octane damage it causes. So extra crippling, extra damage. We've got the bandolier for the ballistic ammo, weighs 9% less. I like to carry back ammo. People say don't do it. I'm doing it. A blocker, take 50% less damage from your opponent's melee attacks. And that's just basically negating those pesky melee people that come around and smack you in the face sometimes in the wasteland. Next we have the perception at 15. Number cruncher, your weapons have 2% increased damage per AP cost. This is a very nice gun to be using your fats in, and you get extra damage for the AP cost. Next we have tank killer, your ranged weapons ignore 40% of armor, so you got penetrate the armor as quick as possible, and you'll see when we're doing it with super mutants and then maybe a grunt hunter again today as well, just to test it out. So that's the 40% armor negation there on the firing you've done. We've got the awareness, gain more fats accuracy based on your perception. The Don Pedro doesn't have great accuracy, but so the more perk cards, what can increase the fats, the better on this gun. We have the grenade because it's going to be explosive, and we have explosive mod and an explosive modification on there as well. Your explosives detonate with twice the radius. You deal 20% more damage per crippled limb your target has on the tormentor. So we're doing a lot of crippling on this build. So the more cripple, the more damage. We're doing the explosive, we're doing the easy target, we're doing a shotgun champ. You do all these numbers do a stack on top of each other, and you will see a damage. Real nice gun to run around in. You will feel like a cowboy. We've got the concentrated at a Mark 2, focus fire stain +2 accuracy and damage per shot. We got a deal sealer. Deal plus 10 damage for each impairment your target has. So the more impairments, the more crippling it has on there, the more damage are we doing. Then next we have life endurance. My endurance never really changes. I like to stick with my endurance the way it is because it provides the most protection. So endurance at a rank 15, life giver at a rank 2, gain more max HP per point in endurance. Ironclad will be wearing a matching set of armour, so this benefits us. Armour provides 25% more protection, doubled if wearing a matching set. Iron Stomach, increased damage and energy resistance based on endurance while not diseased, so extra damage, extra energy resistance. So, next is natural resistance. I love having natural resistance. I don't see it around a lot, but I just like the more resistances to the elements, and that is increased elemental resistance based on endurance while not diseased. There's been a lot more elemental effects during raids, during grunt hunts, everything. All the grunt hunts, all the head hunts have an elemental effect half the time. We've got the first quencher, increased max AP based on endurance. The more time I can spending AP on this gun, using AP on this gun, the better. We have the Vaccinated at an increased disease resistance based on endurance. Fireproof, take 45% less damage from explosives and flame attacks. Starch genes, you never mutate from RADs, and RADaway will never cure mutations. Everyone has starch genes, as I always say. It's a natural staple on this build. Everyone's going to use it, no matter where you are. Everyone's got starch genes. Rejuvenated, we are overeaters. Of course, I'm an overeaters boy currently until the meta changes, so benefits of being well fed or hydrated are further increased when you have less than 10% RADs. So some overeaters, I'll be always full health, and I like to stay filled because there's a benefit of being overeaters as well. Next is Charisma. Strange in numbers, positive mutations effects are 25% lot stronger if teammates are mutated too, so your mutation effects, the mutations you have on your build, will be increased. Tenderizer, each attack makes your target take increased damage. Tenderizer is perfect. So that next shot you make with this gun, that second shot, that third shot, more than likely you won't need to make the third shot. Extra damage on top. Next, intelligence at a rank 9. Field Surgeon at a rank 2. Stimpaks and RADaway heal 60% faster. I just like the safety insurance on these perk cards, so there we go. We have Demolition Expert because we are an explosive. Your explosives do 60% damage, plus 60% on top of the damage you're already doing. See the cripple damage, the explosive damage, the fats damage, it's all tallying up now. You're going to see as we go along. We've got a good with salt. Food in your inventory will spoil 9% slower. First aid for the Stimpaks to restore more health based on your intelligence. And then for our throwaway card, I have been judged for this in the past, but I love Scrapper. I like having my strap, so obtain more components when you strap weapons and armor. I love scrap. I'm a scrap boy, and I want to scrap that stuff as best I can. Agility at a rank 15 at the top of the hour. We are a furious build with this gun, so these next couple of perk cards are really important for this build. We have the Gunslinger Expert, plus 1 range, weak spot damage per onslaught stat, plus 3 map stacks. We have Guerrilla Expert, plus 1 reload speed per onslaught stat, plus 3 map stats. We have plus 5 range damage to close enemies per onslaught stat, plus 5 stacks, that's Guerrilla Master. Gunslinger Master, gain onslaught stacks over time and spend them on attacks, plus 10 stacks. Next we have your range weapons do plus 12 weak spot damage at a rank 3. We have Guerrilla at only a rank 2. You do 15% range damage to close enemies. So you'll be seeing those beautiful stacks right there. All that damage on the Furies and the Onslaught there. It's all marrying up now. As you go across, you'll see all that damage tallying up on the rest of the way. And last but not least, we have the luck for the fats. Mainly for the fats on this one. And a card just for a quick reload tip. Better criticals. Now rank 3. Fats criticals now do plus 100% damage. The number is insane, trust me, you'll see. We have the Ricochet, gain a chance to deflect range attacks based on your luck. We have Class Freak, to negate effects of your mutations. The negative effects of your mutations are reduced by 75%, and you'll see. Critical Savvy, critical hits now only consume 55% of your critical meter, so you can keep using criticals at all times. You do 2 on a bar, it's great stuff. We've got the quick hands, because we're using a revolver, gain a 18% chance to instantly reload your clip when your clip is empty. There's only 6 cartridges on this modification, so you will run out of ammo quickly. So quick hands works, beautiful, instant reload. So they are your perk cards for this Don Pedro build. Please pause it now if you want to take a quick scan at that, and do enjoy. I'll leave it fully on the screen there for a moment, and let's move into weapons, armor, and then eventually test. So that's the Don Pedro build. Let's just fill our Hunter up now so we can see our stats. Ooh, what do I want to eat? Let's see. We'll take a perfect bubblegum on this just to get that out of the way so we don't have to really waste anything. So we'll go to stats, where we are. Oh, my stats are low on there. No, that's fine. We're actually fine. Silly me. Anyway, so for stats, we have a 621 ballistic resistance. We're doing 873 damage on the gun alone now before crippling and extra effects. Poison resistance is 118. 43 fire resistance, 690 energy resistance, 43 terror resistance, 450 radiation resistance, AP at a solid 299, HP at a 512. Let's go into effects. We will go down to we have, first and foremost, remember Elementist. We're +5 poison resistance, +5 fire resistance, +5 energy resistance, +5 damage resistance, +5 gyro resistance. And let's get into the mutations on this build. I'll quickly scan through them just in case you want them. We've got the adrenaline reaction at +5 damage per kill while on a kill streak. Bird bones at a +4 agility. I'm only going to name off the positive effects, as you can clearly see the negatives on there, but they are reduced. We've got a chameleon, invisible in combat if unarmed and stationary. Eagle eyes at a +50 critical damage, important for this gun in this build. +4 perception. We've got the egghead at a +6 intelligence. Electrically charged, just in case we get any pesky melee attackers, at a 40% chance to deal 25% energy damage to melee attackers. Emph at +6 damage taken, -25% team damage taken. Grounded at a -30% energy done damage, +100% energy resistance. Healing factor at a +3% health regen. We're a herbivore for the 2 times benefits from veggies. We've got the herd mentality. We've got the marsupial for the +20% carry weight, +300% jump height. Poison aura, scaling with your diseases. We don't really need that one. I will get that off eventually, so ignore Plague Walker. Scaly skin at a +50% damage resistance, +50% energy resistance. We've got that speed demon on there for that extra speed, +20% move speed, +30% reload speed, +13% hunger and thirst while standing still. Talons for 25% unarmed damage, +25% bleed damage for over time. Ignore that one, you don't need talons, that is a different one. We've got twisted muscles for the 25% melee damage and 50% limb damage on there. Amazing. That is your mutations on this build. There's a couple on there, but mix and match as much as you want. You definitely don't need Plague Walker on there because we definitely don't want diseases. So I'll scroll through them and pause if and when you need to. I'll leave it there for you. And that's your mutations. Let's go into the perk card effects now and see what the perk card's doing in the background for you, and then we'll move on to guns and armor, which will be fairly quick, but I will sit and explain the Don Pedro properly for you and what modifications you do need on there. So we've got awareness at a +26% fats accuracy, deal sealer at a +10 damage versus burning, +10 damage versus freezing, +10 damage versus poison, +10 damage versus bleeding, and there's that crucial one, +10 damage versus crippled. Extra damage. Demolition expert at +6% explosive damage, easy target at +75% damage versus crippled, first aider at 32% stim pack healing, good with salt, -90% food spoil rate, grenade at a +100% explosive size, gorilla at a +15% damage versus close range, Gorilla Expert at a plus 30% reload speed, Gorilla Master at a plus 150 damage versus close range, Iron Stomach at a plus 67% energy resistance, plus 67% damage resistance, Ironclad at a plus 50% armor bonus, Life Giver at a 131 HP, Natural Resistance 39 across the board with Fire, Poison and Gyro, Ricochet at a plus 8% deflect chance, Shotgun Champ at a plus 10% damage versus crippled, Strong Backward at plus 39% carry weight, First Quencher at a plus 87 AP, Torment at a plus 20% damage per crippled limb your target has, perfect, and a Fascinate at a 46% disease resistance. We are fully fed, so we grab that plus 4% endurance, plus 6% HP regen, plus 45% disease resistance. So plenty of AP regen there. It's going to be beautiful. Let's go into the weapons. The weapon of our choice today is the beautiful, furious Dom Pedro from the Fallout show. You will be able to get this from the season board. It will be easy to get. The best and last mods are further across the scoreboard, the season board. I'll show you where to find it on the season board as well as we go across. But there, it's a Furious Sharpshooter's Dom Pedro. It is a Furious, so it's got a plus 5 damage per onslaught stat, plus 9 stats. We have the explosive mod on there for projectiles explode for plus 20% damage, weapon damage, and we've got the explosive modifications as well, and the perk cards, so the explosives are going to be crazy. We've got FATs optimized for the minus 35% action point cost, which is great. We've changed the ammo type to the 308 caliber for the extra damage. We've got the 50% damage to weak points. That's coming off the I think that's coming from the Fortune 6 magazine, or is it the explosive penetrator? I can't remember, but there we go. We've got the 40% chance to add bullet to clip. And we've got the projectiles explode on impact, and projectiles now penetrate up to 3 targets. So the modifications are on there, if you see on the right hand side of the screen. We've got the 308 high velocity receiver, the short barrel, the precise recoil grip, the Fortunate 6 magazine for that extra magazine size. We've got the explosive penetrating as well for the explosive damage, and as you can see, the damage is going to be crazy on this. Feel free to pause. This is the gun I decided, the version of the Dom Pedro I prefer to use on this build. Now, something different. We'll go to the season board so I can just show you where you can obtain the Dom Pedro. As you can see, I've nearly completed the season board this season. I felt like the season board was a bit mid this season, but it is what it is. So on page 5, I think. Is it page 5? Page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Page 7, you can obtain the Dom Pedro. Now, let's talk about the modifications you need to pick up along the way. On page 9, you'll get the Dom Pedro grip mods, which is all the modifications for the gun. And then on page 10, you will get the Dom Pedro receiver mods. That is all the modifications for that. And then on page 11, you'll get the Dom Pedro magazine mods. And on the very last page, the completion page, the explosive modifications. So that is where you can get the Dom Pedro on this one. So that's great for you right there on the season board. Free access this season, so definitely pick it up this season. There's still a lot of time left in this season, so please try and pick it up as best you can. Let's go and quickly look at the armor I'll be using on this build. We are using my classic, but we have different mods on the second star. We're using Overeaters. It's a secret service. Increased damage reduction up to 6% as you fill your 101st. My second star is Elementis. I use a True Hikers, and I've started putting my 4-star mod as the Rangers. The Rangers being one of the best 4-star mods for your armor. Range weapons deal plus 5 bonus damage up to 25% on full stack. I use the butt rest and the deep pocketed, and I have the stuntman paint on my secret service on this build anyway, on this character. We have the Overeaters again. We have Glutton for the 101st grows slower. True Hikers. We've got a limit breaker for each one. Armor piece reduces the cost of critical hits by 10%, which is great. Butt rest and deep pocketed again. Next we have the only difference on this one. We have the Rangers again on this one, which is stacking to 10 now. And we have the poisonous resistance, so extra poison resistance there. And again, poison resistant. We have Sawbones, what I'm slowly going to try and get rid of once I get another Rangers mod, so ignore the Sawbones on there. And lastly, again, we have Overeaters, Glutton, True Hikers, and Rangers stacked at a solid 15 now. Hopefully I finished my Rangers, 4-star Rangers on there, so I highly recommend on your armour, on any build, which range weapons especially, get yourself Rangers. And that is the armour. So, let's move on to testing. And we'll visit our boys in green at the West Tech facility today, and that is our Super Mutant friends. I hope you're finding the videos great. I've just watched, off topic, I've just watched episode 5 of Fallout Season 2. It was fantastic. Fantastic. I won't go into it, but please do go and watch it. So, let's do a test of the Don Pedro build. I'm really excited about this build. Let's find out what serious damage we are going to be performing. And like I said, let's go first person and let's go do some testing. And I'll run you through and we'll discuss the damage at the end. So enjoy the Don Pedro showcase. Let's go. And I am back. Wow, what did you guys think of that showcase there? Wow, wow, wow. That is the Don Pedro build right there. A one-shot king. The king of the one-shots. Did you just see him clear out West Tech there? By Joe, and look at it. Look at the stats. You've got the onslaught stats. You've got the kill streak stats. It's insane. It's a one-shot king. I hope you try this build out. Bloody hell. That was great. We just cleared out West Tech there in beautiful fashion, sort of. But yeah, that is the Don Pedro build, everyone. It's a one-shot king. You just saw it. You're just clearing out the room there. Perfect. Please let me know what you think of this build as well. Please, if anything you would change, let me know. There's always something we can change. There's always improvements we can make. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure seeing you again. And it's been a pleasure uploading a bonus video this week for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. That is the Don Pedro build. I'll see you at the next one, guys.